In other news, in a landmark prisoner swap deal between the US and Venezuela, the United States has released an ally of Venezuelan president in exchange for 10 American detainees and a fugitive dubbed Fat Leonard. Now, the deal was brokered by the Gulf state of Qatar. Venezuela has handed over a fugitive named Leonard Francis, the man at the center of the US Navy's biggest ever corruption scandal. Leonard Francis, also known as Fat Leonard, is a Malaysian defense contractor, and he was behind the biggest bribery scandal involving dozens of US Navy officers. Francis owned and operated his family's ship servicing business, the Singapore-based Glen Defence Marine Asia Limited, or GDMA. Now, GDMA supplied food, water and fuel to US Navy vessels, and Leonard was a key contact for US Navy ships at ports across Asia for more than 2 decades. And during that time, he wooed naval officers with some $500,000 gifts, which included cash, prostitutes and luxury travel from Thailand to the Philippines. Now, in exchange, the officers concealed the scheme in which Francis would overcharge for supplying ships or charge for fake services at ports he controlled in Southeast Asia. And the officers passed him classified information and even went so far as redirecting military vessels to ports that were lucrative for his Singapore-based ship servicing company. US President Joe Biden made the decision to free Alex Saab, the one-time confidant of socialist leader Maduro, who the United States accuses of laundering money. And Alex Saab, a close ally of Maduro, was taken into custody in 2020 when his private jet touched down in Cape Verde for a refuel. Now, the entrepreneur has been at the center of accusations involving kickbacks, massive corruption and hoarding black money using a government corruption scheme. According to the U.S. Justice Department, Saab and his associate transferred more than $350 million to foreign accounts. Saab built prosperous businesses in Colombia's textile industry, and in his early career, he collaborated with Alvaro Pulido, a drug trafficking Colombian billionaire who invited him to Venezuela for business endeavors. Now, Maduro, on the other hand, celebrated the return of Alex Saab as a triumph for truth. Saab thanked the Venezuelan leader and said that today the miracle of freedom, the miracle of justice has become a reality. Now, asked about a deal to release an ally of President Nicolas Maduro in exchange for prisoners in Venezuela, this is what President Biden said.
It's okay because they're freeing American people that were held illegally, and we made a deal with Venezuela at the whole free election. So far, they've maintained their requirements, and that's it.
The White House named 4 of the freed Americans as Joseph Cristela, Evan Hernandez, Gerald Canmore and Savoy Wright. Also among those freed were former U.S. soldiers Luke Alexander Denman and Aaron Berry, who were serving 20-year sentences for a botched armed invasion into Venezuela in 2020. Washington has been easing the pressure on the leftist government while it pushes for progress on democracy, agreeing in October to scale back oil and gas sanctions. Now, the deal represents the Biden administration's boldest move yet to improve relations with a major oil-producing nation and extract concessions from the self-proclaimed socialist leader Maduro.